Hey, how you doing? I'm Coach Chris Collins.
It's Coach MJ.
And we're About That Life podcast, where we're talking AAU basketball, life, and everything in between. We appreciate everybody's support. Keep that coming for us. We're trying to keep getting that good content out. Hit a subscribe, a like, a follow on any platform where podcasts are at, on YouTube. Everything helps. Every little bit helps. Again, I'll keep reiterating. One small click for you is a big help to us, and it helps us, keep thriving and just keep pushing out good content for you guys. Also, I want to mention Dream Scouting. That's the program I'm associated with. If there's basketball players, football players, any sport actually, looking for collegiate action, please hit me up. Where Dream Scouting's there to help you guys get to that next level. Also, again, want to mention Courtside Basketball will be having a showcase tournament August 22nd and 23rd. Funny enough, I got the director of Courtside right here, so he can tell you more about it himself and kind of his overall plan. But, if you have some pretty good teams that you think can come out here and showcase their talent, potentially show in front of college coaches through media, please bring them out. Other than that, let's get to the show. So today's guest is Olajawan Jones, Coach OJ, as some might call him. Brief history with him. He did not play AAU, but he still played hoop. He played junior college at Siskiyous and college ball at Chico State. He's been directing at Courtside Basketball for the last 6 or 7 months. And we kind of want to, get his deal, again, because we know about the shutdowns. We know COVID has changed life. It's changed a lot of people's lives. But this man and is found a way to try to keep thriving in a system that, a lot of athletes, a lot of youth need. You know what I mean? I think the community needs, quite honestly. You know what I mean? We love sports. We love youth sports. Sports, I read a philosopher that said once, he said, every society, from Roman society, to medieval society, whatever case may be, had its type of arena, its type of, viewing thing that they loved, right? Like the movie Gladiator, that was their thing, the big Gladiator event. Well, youth sports and sports in general is kind of our societies, our civilized societies' view of competition in the world, and something we can all take part in and feel a part of. And I really admire what OJ's doing, keeping this alive, especially for these kids, and giving guys like me and Mark a job, because the reality is these kids train and practice and do all this so they can play. If they lose the place to play, lose the place to pay. Right? We don't get paid anymore. Like, that's just the reality of it. What the hell I'm doing all this training for if I'm never gonna play anywhere? So, big shout out to you and what you're doing. So
appreciate that.
Without further ado, Coach OJ. So, man, let's get straight into it. What brought you to Sac, man? What brought you to Placer area?
Well, I was getting tired of Chico.
Okay,
it's a college town, and
right.
I'm not from there, but
right.
Like I said, I stayed out there for a little too long. I went to school for 2 years there.
Okay.
And ended up staying an extra 3 years, and I just didn't like it no more. Just the whole college town thing, and I'm from the city, so Sacramento was the closest spot I felt like. And like I said, I'm from San Diego, but I didn't want to move back home.
That's what I was going to say. Okay. Yeah, he's originally from L.A. I should point out.
What part of San Diego?
Excuse me.
Chula Vista.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I went to Kearney High School.
Okay,
so I
not too far. Okay.
I grew up in like the Linda Vista area.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, right around the Gustavo.
619. 619. All right.
Yeah, because Chris, I was going to tell him one time, though, because he thought I was from L.A., though. But no, I'm born and raised in San Diego.
My fault. I forgot that is a difference.
Yeah.
It's Southern California, but,
Excuse my Northern California ignorance. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, man.
It's all good, though. So, but I've been in Sacramento for, I would say, about 5 years, 5-6 years, though.
Nice.
So, I was working at the North Highlands Recreation Department for about 2 years, and it wasn't going too bad, but I felt like with the knowledge I have for the sport of basketball, though, that I needed something different that can challenge myself though. So for like 2 or 3 weeks straight, I'm looking for jobs nonstop though, and out here it was hard, to find a job. And then finally, I got a call from Courtside for a head training job.
Shit, it's even harder now.
Yeah.
For real.
So, that's what I applied for, was just a training job. So I planned on still keeping my job at North Highlands, but, it wasn't paying that much though. So, having family and kids, I'm like, I need something to challenge myself and also to, pay these bills. So I ended up getting hired from Jacob, who's the owner at Courtside, and we got to talking and stuff. And one day, he was like, I like the way that you do things around here and then how you carry yourself though. How would you feel about doing or being the director of tournaments? And at first I was like,
what?
Whoa. I just got here, I'm just trying to train kids right now, So at first I was like, let me think about it for a second. And we had another guy out here doing tournaments, and so he was doing tournaments for a while, and I kind of followed, see what he was doing and stuff though, because this is a field I've never been in before though. So I didn't want to put myself out there, and I like to be good at what I do. So I'm like, just let me kind of see how this whole thing is ran at first though. So not playing AAU ball before though, so just trying to adapt to the whole AAU at first though. So looking at the tournament, seeing the gym field, and that was what I liked the first when I first walked into an AAU tournament. Just all the players and the fans and stuff though.
It's a great atmosphere.
Yeah, the atmosphere.
It is. It really
what I
is.
mean? It's a great atmosphere and stuff though. So that was the first thing I noticed though, and then got to watching basketball. I'm a competitive basketball player, so just watching the game, which made me like it a lot. So then I finally came up to Jacob. I'm like, I think I could do this though, because he'd seen things in me I didn't even see in myself.
Right.
I'm just coming up here for a head training job, and he's like, I like how you move. How about, let's make another move for you guys though. I mean, for myself.
Yeah.
So started doing that, and then things didn't go well with the guy that was running it before. So,
yeah. Not to cut you off, but I'm going to say a little bit of something about that. Guy before that ran Courtside.
I was trying to be nice.
Yeah, you're trying to be
man,
nice.
so.
Yeah,
about that life.
Exactly.
About that life.
He can be nice.
Yeah.
I don't care. Okay. Yeah, the guy that run it named Lewis. I don't care. Name dropping and everything. Yeah, Lewis, terrible businessman. Basically, cost a lot of people a lot of money. Basically exploited a lot of kids. Now he's ducking and dodging, running and hiding. He's from LA, so he made y'all look bad, man. He made y'all look bad. I was like, damn, this dude from SoCal,
like 2 LA
just
dudes.
like I was like, bro, I don't know. And I had a cool partnership with him at first.
Yeah.
Until he then started trying to poach my kids and doing all kind of shady stuff. He basically the quick version I'm gonna give, because I won't give too much detail because this is Olajawan's time, not mine. But he basically cost a lot of people about I would say 30 to 50 grand or something like that.
Wow.
Maybe a little more.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean,
That's
anything,
not okay.
you know what I mean? Though thousands of dollars, I should say, that's a lot of money though. So
yeah, and you're exploiting. The reality is you're exploiting working class people. It's not like we around here are a bunch of millionaires. You basically have like a upper middle class, lower middle class, blue collar working families. You out here exploiting those people for the possibility of their kid to play college basketball. And of course there's a lot of vultures and a lot of people out there that are going to try to seek and take advantage of it. We talk about it all the time, joking with you guys. So but the previous guy, fuck him. That's just my feel.
Back on that topic though, so when I first did tournaments, my first tournament, I'm calling all these teams, and I remember one phone call I made, and the guy was like, "Oh, you work for Courtside?" Click.
Damn.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was just like, wow, like what am I getting myself into at first though, do I really want this job, or do I just want to continue training kids and stuff right now? So it was a roller coaster at first. I will say that though, because I had to develop relationships with these coaches and try to get them to Courtside just so they could see, it's a different atmosphere. Come out, give me a chance. If you come out, you don't like it, then you can say whatever the hell you want about Courtside. So I started giving out a lot of free tournaments at first, just so they can come check me out, and you know. So it cost us a lot, though. You know, like not really making money, but we're trying to build something right now. So I wasn't really worried about the money. I was worried about building our brand.
Rebuild.
Yeah, I should say rebuilding our brand and stuff. Though.
And that's
so,
how me and him kind of met. We just,
Yeah.
he just walked in one day and just was like, hey,
he was playing in the tournament actually, and I didn't say nothing. I was just, like I said, there was another guy there, and I was just kind of walking around, just kind of filling everything out. And I had seen a post, I think I don't know, YBA or something though, and I was like, I seen that guy at the gym before though, so I wrote him a message. And that's kind of how we, got to talking and stuff, though. I just introduced myself. Hey, I'm a director, and he was like, man, just come over sometime.
So the door's always open. I said, come over, let's just sit down and talk. And I told him my experience with the previous guy, and I said, and I told him straight up, and this is kind of what brokered and helped our friendship. I told him straight up. I said, dude, you have a lot of people who are going to dislike you.
Yeah, you did
without even knowing you. Like
I
said, the dude before you burnt a lot of bridges. He made things very bad. I said, but you seem real cool. Come to find out, my little bro is like friends with him and stuff, and we know a lot of the same people. That just shows you how small basketball is. But I was like, you seem real cool. I'm going to support you until I see different or whatever. And I believe, kind of part of me supporting him helped at least broker some of those. Because once they saw YBA there, they're like, okay, well, YBA is going to be there. Maybe he's not so bad. But again, that's what made me and him friends. So.
Yeah. And like I said, I appreciate this man a lot, though, because it took for me, I don't usually go out my way to go meet someone or introduce myself like that. So I'm in a whole different thing. So I'm like, let me go over to YBA. I've always heard though YBA and Courtside back and forth though. And my whole thing is I'm new. I don't have no grudges for no one. I'm not gonna hold no grudges. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna start fresh.
Like Ted said, he's Switzerland. He's cool with everybody.
So that's how it is with me. I'm cool with everybody until you rub me the wrong way. And you'll just see a whole different side. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with everybody until, like I said, until you do something to me. So that's pretty much how it is.
Fair.
So so you and I, we've talked personally about it, but I really want you to talk about this just to get your perspective for sure out there, because the reality is with COVID and the way the climate is nowadays, the county doesn't necessarily want you doing this, right? So how and why are you guys at Courtside, staying open? Why, what's the motivation?
Down from the start. So March started obviously with the COVID. I think it was like March 19th when we got that, shut down for good. Yeah. So we had shut down for 3 months though. Didn't do anything though. Like was closed. The gym was closed. Lights off for 3 months.
Wow.
So one day I'm driving in. I'm like, man, there's a bunch of cars at YBA. Like, I gotta keep it real. I'm like, how is YBA open but we're not? So I'm asking Jacob, like, we gonna do anything or what's going on? And he's like, let's just wait it out though and see what happens. So I'm like, all right, let's just wait it out. So another month goes by, and I'm like, still nothing. You know what I mean?
That's your income going too. Yeah. That's your job going.
No, I mean, the good part about that, he was paying us still.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
So
really
that
cool.
was good.
That's really cool.
But how it started, though, is I've kept getting a lot of phone calls from teams. Like they're just calling in. And I'm just like, hey, we're not open. I'll let you know when we're open. And there was one call I got, though. It was a senior, a guy that was he had just graduated. And he was like, man, I want to play with my buddies. I'm not going to get to play with them after this, you know what I mean? Because obviously after that, you can't play AAU basketball.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, let me just, I just thought about it for a second. And I was like, man, that kind of sucks, though, like what's going on. So ran it by Jacob. He was like, man, let's just kind of wait it out still. So I'm like, all right, just wait it out. So finally, I got to the point like, man, I can't do this no more. Like we gonna have to try to open up though. So we started doing the little open runs first though for the the men's and stuff though.
I was bringing my guys.
I was about to say that's when you were there, Mark.
I brought my guys to that.
We was doing the open run for a little bit, and then we started getting good feedback from that though. Next thing you know, it spreads fast out here. So everyone's like, oh, Courtside's open now. So what really put it over the top though is Jacob, he's getting bills still. You know, we got an overhead of $30,000 a month. You know what I mean? So I'm talking to him. I'm like, could they put that on the back end of our lease or something? He's like, he wants it now. So I'm like, you know, I can do tournaments if you want me to. You just got to, you know, let me do it. And he's like, I don't know. I don't want the backlash at first, though. So I understood it, though. But I'm just trying to make sure we don't close down for good. You know, because I'm not trying to go find another job. I'm not trying to go, you know, back to the job I had. So I'm like, I got to try to make something work, though. So, you know, did the first tournament, and everyone started calling, you know, because there's nowhere to play and stuff, though. So the first two tournaments, or I say a couple tournaments, went good. And then the county calls.
After 2 weeks?
Yeah, after the first couple tournaments, you know, because we're going to get the backlash. I knew it was going to come, though. I just didn't know when it was going to come.
You're Placer County enemy number one right now.
For sure, though.
You're on their hit list.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't like us at all, though, you know. So we get a call, shut down. And Jacob's like, no, just keep running. Because he's like, you know, I can stay closed down and still take the risk of losing my business, or I can stay open and, you know, try to keep my business running.
Go out swinging.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, you know, I'm 100% with you, though. You know, if that's what we got to do, let's do it then.
Got to survive, got to eat.
Yeah, exactly, though. So, you know, kept running tournaments and stuff, and the word spreads fast in the AAU community, obviously, you know. So I'm getting phone calls from teams I've never even heard of before. And parents are calling me too. They're like, man, we love what you guys are doing and stuff, though. Like, my kid just wants to play basketball. You know, like, I'm tired of seeing him on the computer all day and stuff, though. Like, please, you know, thank you for getting him out the house. You know what I mean? So I see the positive side of it, and then I also see the negative side of it, though. You know what I mean? Because I respect people, how they feel with the whole COVID thing and all that. But like I've been telling people before, if you're sick or if you're scared, like, these events are not for you. You know what I mean? I'm not forcing no one to come in the gym. I'm not putting a gun to no one's head or anything like that, though. Like, so if you want to come to the gym, though, and I mean, you know the risk that we're taking, if you're for it, then, you know, I don't have a problem with that. So that's pretty much how it's been with the whole tournament stuff, though. Like, I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from it. But like I said, one negative from someone, a call from the county, they just look at that one negative and, you know, take it how they want to take it and stuff, though. So that's what irritates me a lot. But, you know, I can't change that. We've been on the news before. Yeah, not once but twice. We were in the Bay Area news, I think a couple weeks ago. We're saying, I think a parent, it's weird. This situation was a little weird because the parent actually came to our gym. And one of the coaches, whose team it was, I guess, was upset at the coach for, I don't know if her kid didn't get much playing time or what, but called the news.
My God.
So that's how, you know.
That you guys were running and doing your turn because their kid wasn't.
Right. And that's things like that, though, like, really irritate me a lot, though, because no one told you to come to the gym. You know what I mean? It's voluntary, though. Like, you didn't have to come, you know, like, and that was my whole thing. So I ended up calling the news. It was NBC News in the Bay Area. And I spoke to the guy. I told him everything. We're running tournaments. He asked me everything. I told him the protocols. I mean, I told him we have hand sanitizer on every court, though, and all this, though. And we're keeping these kids safe, you know, as possible. And like I said, we're still going to get the backlash. I know that. And like
actually, shout out to that lady because she just got you more publicity. So
that's what Jacob said.
A bunch of Bay Area teams literally are coming to your games or his tournaments now. You got Peyton Place and Fresno and all of them. They're like, oh, somebody's running. We don't care.
Right.
Things happen for a reason.
So thank you, lady.
So back to that, though, it was just, like I said, it's just been tough, though. You know, every day is just something new, you know, with this, because no one knows what's really going on, or no one knows what's going to happen in a couple months. And I'm just trying to give these kids an outlet to play. You know, and that's my whole thing. And if you don't like it, though, you don't have to come to our event. We're not forcing no one in the gym, though. Like, we're just trying to keep our building open. You know? That's the main thing, though, just trying to keep us open.
So, like, I know you're a former hooper, just like, you know, me and Chris. How has it been, you know, doing what you're doing, being the director, you know, going through, you know, you're going through some different type of experiences now. Like, you're still part of the game, but of course you're not, you know, like you say, like, you're not even really doing the, are you still training also, or is it, okay, so you're still doing the training thing. How has it been adjusting, you know, doing this now where, you know, you're not necessarily on the court no more, you know, but you're still in a way, you're still trying to lead, you're still trying to influence, but at the same time, you got all this chaotic stuff going on. How has that been for you in this position?
It's been tough. It's been really tough though. You know, just I work about 70 hours a week.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of hours though.
People don't know, man.
And the thing is though, like, it's the back end though. A lot of people don't understand though, like, doing a schedule. You know what I mean? And then also training kids, like having to wake up the next day and then, you know what I mean, though, and still deal with all these coaches and all that though. Like, that's the hard part though, you know, like, because a lot of people don't see at home all the work that's put in. You know what I mean? So like right now I got coaches calling me because I don't know what's going on at Courtside right now.
Well, it's almost done. Just tell them shut up and get through it.
So trying to figure it out right now, it was just, it's crazy though. So
you work 24/7 basically, almost. Basically. Wow. So what's because I know you just started doing this, what's the end goal? Like, what's your big vision of everything? Like, you know, like, what are your plans moving forward?
See, I'm a competitive player. I mean, I was a competitive player. I should say that though.
Nah, he is, because he hoops with me in the men's league. This is my teammate, so he still hoops.
I like watching good basketball.
Yeah.
So I've talked to Chris about this before, just kind of starting a ranking event too.
Nice.
You know, like, I mean, I know it's later on down the line and stuff like that, but that's kind of what I want to do, though. You know, just kind of build Courtside up, and, you know, I kind of put us on the map right now, but just kind of expanding that though, and letting people know, hey, this is a good atmosphere to play in. You know, so.
And do you want to get into AAU? Now that you see all this craziness, I know we talked about a little bit. Training's cool, right? Directing's cool, but you know the AAU world.
I'm gonna stay in my lane.
I'm no knocking you if you want to do it, but you see, there's a reason I don't do tournaments, because this takes enough time for me. Like, it's hard to.
I'd rather stay. I mean, the coaching thing, I've coached before. I coach my son, but it's not. It's rec league though. So that's way different animal and stuff though. With the AAU, it's a whole different world. So this man right here, I'll leave that up to you.
Right, that's what I say too. Stay in my lane too with the training.
Yeah,
I feel y'all. I'll give y'all enough, man.
I hear from him all the time. He has 4 teams. So, you know, doing schedules and all that, though, it's hard, especially, like I said, with him with 4 teams. But I get it right, though. You know, I have made mistakes, though, you know, and I've learned from that, though. But just trying to get these schedules right, though, and, you know, make sure teams get the right games. And I feel like over the last 3 or 4 weeks, though, I've done a good job of getting teams the matchups they need. Whether you're D3, D2, or D1, though, I would get you the games you need. And it's been competitive, you know. And I actually like watching basketball. Like, the good thing is Saturday and Sundays. Wednesday and Thursday, I hate those days.
Really?
You know, because Wednesday is when I start doing my schedule. And then Thursday morning, I don't know why, like, coaches, I tell them all the time, schedule comes out at 6 p.m.
And they text you.
I wake up in the morning, literally at 9, whatever time I wake up, is the schedule ready? Is the schedule ready? Like, so what I've learned to do now is I just ignore it. You know what I mean? Because I put the schedule out early before. But when I do that, coaches expect it all the time early. So I just had to realize, though, let me just put it out at 6 o'clock. You know what I mean? That way everyone gets at the same time. We don't have to hit me up, hey, is the schedule ready? Because I get so many teams now, and, you know, all these different personalities. It's like my phone, like, does not stop ringing.
And, of course, you have all the requests. Because I don't think people realize, and I just know because I've done camps, I've done tournaments a little bit, so I know the behind the scenes. But when you have 80 to 120 teams and 60 of them have schedule requests, it's like, what?
It's hard.
It's like, how you gonna make it work? Like, I ain't gonna lie, my 16U is kind of needs a set not necessarily a set schedule, but a set day because one of my best players is Mormon, and he doesn't play Sunday.
Yeah.
So I have to ask him, can you please make sure that team plays Saturday only? I try to tell him anytime. Typically, for the most part, it works, for me. Like I'm like, anytime is fine because I'm here all day anyway. Right. But, imagine getting all those little detailed requests from 60 different teams and making it work. And he does, man.
And the hard part is like, because I'm human, I make mistakes. Is when you make a mistake on someone's schedule, and you go try to fix that, and then you fix that, and then you have another problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it just dominoes and stuff.
Yeah.
So what I've learned from actually Ken is keep it the same. You know what I mean? Though, like if you make a mistake, though, it's all right though. So you know, it's been tough though. Like because I was used to dealing with like before the COVID, like in 30 to 50 teams. You know what I mean? But now I'm getting way too many teams. You know what I mean? It's like double the amount of teams and trying to do the schedule and making sure all their schedule's right. So usually on like Wednesday, I don't go to bed till like 2 or 3 in the morning. Wow. Just double checking, making sure I got everything right. And then sometimes, like I said, I still mess up sometimes, So. But
like you said, you're human, man. So for any of you coaches or directors who listen to this show, because I know a few of you do, understand, give my man a break. He out here working hard for y'all, man.
Yes.
Team no sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. And that's another thing that I'm going to bring up, though, because I don't get a lot of sleep sometimes. I know this man doesn't. So with everything going on and stuff, though, like, I'll get like 3 hours of sleep sometimes, and then like my body would just be like, man, you need to just chill out. So also in my mind, I'm like, do I got COVID or something? What I mean? With the whole what's going on. So it's just like, it's stressful sometimes.
Burnout.
Yeah.
You can still get burned out even if you ain't playing.
Mentally. For sure, though. Yeah. Mentally, though. It drains you, though. It really does, though, so.
Well, just telling you this as my friend, man, you do a phenomenal job.
Appreciate that.
So,
Appreciate that.
I know
Respect.
You don't hear that a lot. But the reality is what I really, really like about this show and what I've been able to do so far is show brothers really working hard. You know what I mean? Like really just in this climate, in this atmosphere, you got a lot of brothers out here, really trying to do the right way, trying to work the right path, trying to get their money the right way and take care of their families and stuff. And I've been able, at least on this show, between all the guests and everybody, show young black men to older guys like us really just trying to figure out and do things the right way. So I just really am happy and impressed with what you're doing, man.
Appreciate that.
Respect.
And the thing is, I'm doing this for the kids.
Yeah.
Like everyone thinks, obviously I got to get paid somehow, but everyone's like, oh, you guys are just doing it for the money and all this. It's like, we're doing this to keep our business open and to give back to these kids.
Yep.
And that's the main two things. Everything else will just fall in line, so.
Well, impact as many people as you can while you're in this world.
Yes.
I wanted to talk about the NBA. Right? Let's talk about a little bit of NBA action. Right. What did we just talk about, Mark? The Suns, right?
Yeah, went 8-0, and they still didn't make the playoffs.
That's crazy.
That is crazy,
right? That's crazy. But at least if I'm Devin Booker and some of those guys, I'm taking that, like,
for sure.
They
into
got
next
a good
year.
core though, right
Yeah.
there. They had a really good core
for sure.
And the matchups obviously when playoffs start Tuesday, right?
Yeah,
I believe Tuesday.
So we got some good matchups. That Lakers-Portland one, I
Yeah.
definitely think is going to be the one to watch. We were talking about that.
One game for
He gives them
Portland.
one game.
One game.
How many you give him?
He
A
gonna
lot?
be
What do you
like
think?
Iverson.
Honestly,
2000.
I'll probably give him one
game,
maybe two, because with LeBron, he's been there before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everyone's like, oh, he's getting old. It's like, it's playoffs starting.
Right.
Wait till the playoffs, and this man has been preparing himself for this, though. So he knows what it takes to get there. So, and I'm not even a LeBron fan, but I respect the man's game and all that. And like I said, Portland might get one game.
And I feel like
Two
you
if
got to
they're lucky. So
I feel like you got to think too. It's like, I might give Portland a little more chance if this was before the bubble, going to LA, going to Portland, getting that home court.
Yeah, that home court.
Now this is pickup basketball, talent versus talent.
Right.
So I'm like, who the hell's going to guard LeBron and AD?
Yeah.
We can throw in Danny Green and throw J.R. Smith at Dame, to kind of contain him. But who is going to stop on their side? So that's why I feel like bubble playoffs is going to be intense. I think that's how I see it.
I can't wait for it though. So it's going to be some good matchups.
What's another good? Who are the Rockets
I haven't even
playing?
seen all the matchups yet.
I haven't either. Tell you the truth.
One good one I think is going to be kind of Houston and OKC.
There we go.
I think 4 or 5. So Chris Paul, he going.
That's what I mean.
That would be an interesting matchup right there, though.
I mean, Chris Paul's impressive. Of course, Kai. That's his MVP.
That's his boy.
But no, I think that's going to be a really good matchup too. It really is, to me. Despite everything going on, I still have my pick for the Clippers coming out. They got
West. The Mavs. They got Luka in the first round.
Yeah, I still think
give the Mavs
Clippers.
one game maybe.
The Clippers are still my pick to come out the West. Well, not if Paul George is guarding a game winner, but other than that, other than that, my pick is still the Clippers if they're at full strength. If not, the Lakers, no doubt.
That'll be a good matchup though, Lakers and the Clippers.
So. Out of the East, who do we have coming out the East?
I mean, Milwaukee for the taking to me.
Okay.
Ben Simmons is out basically.
Yeah. Oh, is he?
Yeah. Out for.
I haven't been watching.
Yeah.
Well, you don't get to watch NBA. You watch kids
too,
every weekend.
Everything is on the East Coast.
It's
throwing me off right now because games come on at 2, 3 It's true. I'm at work though. So
No, that's funny. I mean, I still think Milwaukee. I like the Raptors. I do like the way they've been playing. They're a sleeper team.
They are the defending champions.
Yeah, that's true. I know everybody's kind of counting them out. They did actually win it. But it really feels more like Kawhi won that. I mean, I hate to say no knock on them because they do got some dudes like Van Fleet and all them. But you think of that team. That's if they can get out the East, I think that will actually give them a lot of validity. You know what I mean? If you have a Toronto Lakers matchup, that probably won't be the ideal matchup, but again,
do we really want to see Toronto?
I know, right?
Not really, but more people. The eyes are more on the Western Conference anyway.
Maybe like a Milwaukee.
People watch that.
They want to see the stars.
The stars.
Exactly.
That's what it is, though.
Yeah, you see the Toronto. I don't know what people.
Pascal Siakam against LeBron. I don't know.
People will be like, "What is this? What am I watching?" Yeah, exactly.
The ratings would be very low. I should tell you. I will tell you that though.
For sure.
I wanted to just briefly talk about the NBA drama. I usually don't, but this topic, I thought, for me, was pretty interesting. If the Dame Lillard, Paul George, Dame Lillard's sister, Paul George's wife, getting into it on social media. Obviously, it started from the Twitter comments from Pat Bev, Paul George, Dame Lillard. And it spilled into the family a little bit, obviously. For the quick version, Dame Lillard's sister made a post, I believe, on her Snapchat saying, Paul George, you got a stripper pregnant, and then you married a stripper. You had, she's married to his ex is married to Seth Curry. His ex is married to Seth Curry, and, he cheated on her with the stripper. This is the one where he offered $1 million for her to get the abortion and all that stuff. So she put all that, and I hate to say it, it's all facts, but she put that all out there. And then, of course, Paul George's wife responds like, somebody get this gorilla, whatever. And so Dame Lillard's sister was like, we can meet up, we can go hands. Do we think that went a little too far? I mean, should families get involved in basketball beef? How do we feel about this one?
Man, I mean, I feel like it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I remember the whole Aisha Curry thing where she was talking and stuff like that. And, I mean, you can't really control family members. I mean, I don't know. That's tough.
Should the player be blamed? Or, because, I mean, again, like you said, if it's your wife or your family, they're grown. You can't control them. But
it's tough,
should the NBA... should we look at the player like it's his responsibility, or should we just take it like that's a grown-ass person speaking their mind? They just happen to know.
Person.
Okay.
It's just the power of social media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because people get in their feelings, and all it takes is a few clicks of the button.
Yeah.
Press return.
That's true.
Because back in the day, when we used to get news, it would take, days or whatever with social media. People get it with
30 seconds later.
You know what I mean? And it spreads quick though. Next thing you know, we on the West Coast, we hear something from the East Coast within 5 minutes, you know. So that's how it is. So
that's true.
Totally
Very
agree.
true.
Well, I wanted to talk about, and you know, you'll feel me on this. My 16U played like shit this weekend. It was 15U last weekend with that choke in the Arsenal, and then my 16U, which he has personally seen literally win for like 2 months straight, go and lose 2 games. The last one,
Ooh, 2 games.
yeah, lost 2. Last one they just played terrible. Lost to a team that we've beaten a lot, the Sackhoyas. You know, that's not even just my 15U and my 16U have beaten this team. And of course, you know, they're jumping for joy. They're happy. They're like, oh my God, we finally got them. But yeah, I hope my players hear this. Be ready for practice Wednesday, because y'all gonna feel it.
Hey.
But did you catch some of the game, or did you saw?
I did.
What did you see, like, as a spectator on that one?
I think it's because maybe because you guys played them before. I don't know about the first game, but just playing them, knowing that you guys beat them, being that young, you're like, oh man, we about to beat these guys' ass.
Yeah, and they were younger than us too. They're a group of freshmen.
So
basically.
you know, I think sometimes being too overconfident, you know what I mean? Because they didn't. They just think they was gonna roll over on this team. The other team just gonna fold.
Yeah,
but a learning experience from that, you can't take every team lightly. You know, no matter who it is, though. You know, you just got to play hard. You know, from the start to the end. So I think that's what it was. Because I think you guys did play hard at spurts.
Yeah, we didn't do it.
You know what I mean? Because I think the game got cut to like a 3 or I think it was like 47, 40, something like that. Though.
Yeah,
like,
we got it within 3. We got it within 3.
But like I said, it's just the spurts. Instead of putting the whole game together, you know, they're playing hard at spurts. Like, oh, we're down by so many. Let's play hard right now instead of from the beginning of the game playing hard, you know, to the end. So,
and I think people see my 16U, and you've seen that team, how big they are, how strong they are, the ferocity. You know, I guess it's similar like your Lakers. You know, people just expect them to win. You know what I mean? It's just that and the problem is, I believe they're starting to buy into their own hype. They're just like, oh, we're just gonna win because we're just that team. You know what I mean? So sometimes, you know, it's good to eat some humble pie.
Gotta always have a sense of urgency. Right. Always.
Let me ask you this question: as a team, do you guys have team goals?
I do. I typically do.
You know, like that national level kind of, or trying to get to that next level. You know what I mean? Is that a team goal you guys have? Or
I have that as a personal goal for my teams. The best way I could put it is it depends on the atmosphere of the team. So let me give you guys kind of a quick scenario. So like my 15U, majority of that team, the core of that team, I've had since they were like 6th grade, 5th, 6th, you know, 7th, 8th grade, and now they're freshmen. And you just saw them play this last weekend, and they look phenomenal, right? That's the type of group I'm going to invest in and really try to push to get on a circuit. I believe I believe my kid Trevor's going to end up being 6'10". I think Cav's going to be 6'9". Wow. My starting point guard Jaden, who's probably my best player right now, he's going to
with the braids.
With the braids. The black. Like he's probably going to be a 6'4", 6'5" point guard. Like so, this is a team. I obviously for future next year or two, I'm pushing to get him on the circuit. My 16U, don't get me wrong. Still just as good, but the difference is the core guys, a lot of them left. I only really have 2, maybe 2 or 3 core guys from the beginning. So now it's all kind of, not to call them mercenaries, because these kids are actually good kids. They sit there and they are loyal to the program and myself and stuff, but it is a little more mercenary-ish. So I have to kind of more deal with things on an individual basis, right? As opposed to a team. Now, I would love to get that team on a circuit, but because they don't have the chemistry and the years together, it's a little harder because you don't really know if that family is going to stick with you. You know, I might invest all this time, all this energy. Like when I get these highlights, it's not free. I'm taking YBA funds to do it. When Simply Basketball makes my highlights, it's not free. You know, I've obviously paid you to do highlights, Mark. Like, you know, that's it. I don't think of it as an expense. It's an investment. I'm investing in these boys.
That's how I feel about Courtside.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm not looking at the price. I'm just looking at the investment, trying to build something right now.
And so for my team, we do have goals, but it really depends on like which team it is. Like my 7th grade, who you just saw playing, you know, 8th grade, and they played phenomenal. I'm going to get to them later. That's another group I would invest in because you can see the sparks of like they're going to be pretty damn good when they get to high school. You know what I mean?
Do you train all these kids too? Or?
Most of them, actually, tell you the truth. Most of the kids I end up coaching, I train, so that gives me a great perspective to help them get ready for both. And again, it's like what I talked about on a previous episode. I'm in it for the long game, right? For the long run. Like, I get them early. Like, you see my 5th grade group. You saw us. We blew 2 teams out today, but you remember when we played like months ago, and we got our butts handed to us a few times, but now we're blowing those same teams out. So it really just depends on the investment of the team, in my opinion, on how you evolve them, because AAU is this weird combination of loyal parents, loyal kids, mercenary parents. You don't know. You kind of got to gauge who's what. And once you figure that out, then you can figure out, okay, how I'm going to work with this team.
Yeah. I was actually talking to a coach about you probably like a week ago, because I brought up the training part. Yeah. There's a lot of good trainers that are not good coaches. There's a lot of good coaches that are not good trainers. He does a good job at both. And I think that's like a rare talent to see someone that can coach and train, though, because I've tried. It's hard. It's really hard to get these kids to buy in what you want them to do and stuff, and then train them and then coach. Like, it's, you know what I mean? It's very hard to do, though. So, I respect you for that, though.
I appreciate it, man. And you have a lot of teams coming from out of town now, right?
Yes.
I mean, how just kind of so you could talk about, your showcase coming up this weekend. How many teams do you expect maybe to come from out of town?
Let's see. We got teams coming from Florida. I know I'm probably going to get killed for this, though. They're like, why are you bringing all these teams to Placer County and all this right now, though? So, but like I said, Florida, some teams coming from Las Vegas, some new teams coming from out there, and then I got some teams coming from Oregon. And hopefully 2 teams coming from Arizona. I'm still waiting on some phone calls, though. So I got about 25 teams.
Nice. Cool.
So all D1 elite teams, though, this week. So
good. We'll have some of our
next weekend.
Well, we'll have some of our elite talent. My 16U and 15U will be there for sure. And I told my boys, you got to get ready, man. You got to get ready.
One thing, is he going to be open Sunday? Because it's pool play on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. 15U, 16U, well, my Mormon kid, love you, Aaron, but you can't play. I mean, you just can't play.
So how does that work? Because I know Jacob, he has some kids that are Mormon, but
the reality is some, because like BYU, is famous Mormon school, but they play on Sundays. They have tournaments. There's some who are just going to stick to the, it's like a super Orthodox Jewish person and like more of a relaxed Jewish person. You know what I mean? It's like a super Orthodox Muslim and kind of more of a relaxed Muslim. You have some of the Mormon kids and people that are like, I'm going to stick with not doing anything Sunday. This is my religious belief, and I respect it. I don't, I don't knock it.
I respect it.
And then you have some kids that are like, I'm going to play. Like I'll don't do anything else the rest of the day, but I'm gonna play. It's very similar. There's actually a couple NFL players who were Mormon. Can't think of them off the top of my head, but there was one in particular someone was talking to me about, and clearly football is played on Sunday. So, but
I said, I didn't know anything until I got to Courtside, because we actually got another kid that plays with us, and he's like 7-day Adventist.
That's
and that's like the opposite, because if I'm correct though, he can't play until nighttime or something. If I'm correct, I forgot the whole thing how it works though. But he can't play until like sunset or something like that. It was just like some weird time.
And you try to work with everybody's situation, but
it's tough though, like that though, So and that's something like I said, I didn't know about the Mormons that play Sunday. Then I found out about this 7-day Adventist, and like Coach Charles had to deal with that, So.
I've had to have some real conversations with some of my kids. I say, look, man, do you want a scholarship? Yeah, well, you got to play Sunday.
And that's the hard part, because what if you're like in a national or playing down south or something like that, where you have to play on those days, because they're not going to be like, oh, we got Mormons, so we're not going to have a tournament this weekend or something like that.
For forgiveness or something.
Right.
Yeah, that's like you got to do something. So
it's tough though.
You deal with that type of stuff. Switching gears, talking about just a little bit of funny stuff. I just wanted to bring this up because my 13U, they listened to the podcast, and I had to give them a shout out. They had a great win against the Chico Avengers. We were down by like 6 or 7, and we got 5-second call. Then we got a steal. My one of my guards, Blaine, hits a corner 3, change momentum. We get another steal, attack the basket. Get a layup and one, and we came back and won. We were down by 7 with 1:10 left.
Wow. I'm not even gonna lie to you though. Like, I thought Chico had it.
Yeah, right. You saw it.
I'm getting medals ready and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, Chico got this one though.
Yeah, and we usually and we beaten him the last few times.
Yeah,
Again, that's where I say we beat him a lot. And you know, in the beginning, Chico used to beat the hell out of my team, and now we're kind of the big brother, and we're kind of beating up on them a lot more and more. But they, I mean, they were real competitive today. And
I try to put you guys in different pools. Though,
yeah, you know, we play each other so much.
They play so much though, so I'm like, let me put them in one pool, but. If both teams win and get to the championship,
it is what it is.
I said, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So that's what happened today.
And then I was playing my 7th grade up, so they were actually playing in the 8th grade bracket. So we were playing their 8th graders, and my guys really stepped up. If you saw my 7th grade team, I got some big boys, man.
Solid.
I love when these kids play up. I hate, like, I've been seeing it a lot lately, is the coaches that have kids playing down. Because my thing is, are you chasing a championship? Are you trying to develop these kids?
Because, we're going to talk about that a lot more, too.
Yeah, it's just crazy, though, what I've been seeing. I think I actually talked to you about this also, is what I've noticed, a lot of these kids play on 4 or 5 different teams.
Yep. Remember we talked about that last episode about kids playing all over. He sees it just like I do.
Yeah, because I see it all the time. Yeah. I'm like, because I'm looking at kids, I'm like, didn't you just play for a team like last weekend though? Like, you know, so
they're literally playing like 10 games.
Yeah, and
it
trickles down like to these coaches allow it though. You know what I mean? It's true. Like, you know, like I don't know if that's the new norm going on right now or what though, but that's what I've been seeing a lot lately.
Not with me, because I make it very clear to my kids and parents: if your kids don't come to practice, they can't play.
Yeah.
And there's too many coaches, in my opinion, that are all like, you know, just, hey, just come play. You know, they just do this pickup, like you said, pickup ball.
Yeah.
You know, this ain't pickup, man. At the end of the day, this should still be about development. And I tell my parents, if your kids are playing high school basketball, they're expected to be at practice 5 to 6 days a week. If they're playing college basketball, and we all know, because we're all college athletes in this room, you're expected to be at practice once, if not twice, if not 3 times in a day, 6 to 7 days a week, right? Like 7 days a week it can happen.
You know, before the season started, we were doing 6 o'clock in the morning,
right?
We come back at 2.
Exactly, you know? And so it's like I'm not, and my practices right now are very minimal. We're talking 2 days a week, hour and a half each, right? 3 hours in a week is when I'm asking to have your kid come to practice, and parents are like, "Oh, we're so busy, I can't." Shut up. And it's not even like my practices are like 4 in the afternoon, 3 in traffic hours. I'm like 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
But see that, then they want their kids to play.
Yeah, then exactly.
You know I mean, it's like you want your kid to play, but you don't want them to go to practice though. You know, so it's like you can't have it your way though. So you know, and that's why I don't want to get into the whole coaching thing. With the rec league, I coach him. That's fine. It's 5 minutes. Another 5 come in. That's fine. You know, with the AAU, you got to pick which players you want to play all the time, and you know the subbing is on the coach. And because me, I'll end up cussing the parent out. You know, so.
Shots fired to the parents and the kids that are out here letting these kids play for all over the place. I get one to play basketball, man, but come on, man. Like, you know, you got to have a home base, and that's just my opinion. Respectfully disrespectful. I wanted to talk about kind of what me and you always laugh at and allude to, because you know I just don't care. I'll put myself out there. Me always having a target on my back, and the teams wanting to play me, and the texts you get. You know, like the Hoyas beat me this weekend, and they're texting you like, "Hey, I got him." Like, you know, it's like, come on, bro.
So
like,
when we first started talking,
that's hilarious.
One of my buddies hit me up. He was like, you know, we played YBA before, and we beat them, and then I messaged the coach. Yeah. And I forgot what we said. What happened?
Yeah, he tagged me on Instagram.
Yeah, did you write him back or
I wrote on the comments. Because he got 2nd place. He didn't even win the championship. He tagged me, though, because he beat me in pool play. And keep in mind, I've beaten this team like 5 or 6 times. Beaten this team 5 or 6 times. So obviously seen the again. What'd you say, Mark? Rule of averages?
Law of averages.
At some
you
point,
get one.
Right? and it was bad because I only had like 6 players, actually 7. One ended up throwing up in the middle of the game because whatever, so he couldn't play no more. My other star player, Jaden, was hurt. This is when they were 8th graders at the time, right? So it's just all bad all around. Just a bad day, bad game. We ended up losing. And he tagged me on Instagram saying, we got a chance to beat this overrated YBA team.
And he tagged you too?
Yeah, and he tagged me in the post. And again, Said, I'm not going to go that deep. I said, congratulations on getting runner-up. And I left it at that because he didn't even win the championship.
Yeah. Then he ends up coming to my gym. I put them against him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, this might be a good game. So I go into the office, come back out. It was like a 20-point league. I'm like, oh, my God, I don't want to go down there. So I walk down to the other side. The league gets up to 30. I'm like, oh, my God. Though. Like, thank God I didn't put this. Did I put it on the main court?
No, you put me on court one. Yep.
Yeah, court one. Thank God, though, for that, though, so.
Because I told my boys, I said, hey, man, this coach talking mess. Like,
okay, you gave him a little pep
yeah,
talk,
I told him. I was like, they tagged me on IG. He made sure I knew. Yeah. I said, I suggest you guys make your point this game. And
but ever since then, though, I haven't heard him say anything about YBA again, though. So, like, trying to play you guys or what, though, so.
And I just think it's funny because you hear that. Yeah, quite all. Remember Rose City was
I heard
like
a lot. Yeah, Rose City too. Yeah,
they all these teams.
Do you know him, Brandon? He's a good guy though, but
no. I've never met. I mean, he's never.
So he didn't say specifically you.
Right.
He was like, I want YBA.
Right.
Like I want YBA. So I don't know what happened.
Target.
Yeah, like that's a YBA target right there.
That's what I'm saying. Either they target YBA or myself.
Yeah.
But I think most people associate me with YBA because my teams typically are the elite teams. They do a lot of the winning. If you guys ever wonder who's our elite team, they have the black and white jerseys. It's not hard to figure out. The black and white jerseys are the elite guys. The blue and whites are our developmental guys. The way we have it, our hierarchy, we call elite, select, and competition. That's what we call our hierarchy. So blue and white select and competition, black and white's elite. And I believe most coaches have figured out, like, if I'm playing the light-skinned guy, like, it's most likely an elite team I'm going against.
That's crazy you say that because the last few weeks you've been going under a different name.
Yeah.
So I have coaches calling. I have coaches calling me. They're like, "Who is Team CC?" And then they get to the gym. They're like, "Oh, that's YBA." Damn it. So,
that's hilarious.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of teams have been doing that lately, going under these alias names because, like, I got some teams that play in, like, the Adidas Gauntlet and, all this, though. They don't, in case something happens, they don't want to play under their name and get the scrutiny. So I'm like, I'll take the scrutiny from you guys. You guys go in and play. I'll deal with all that, though, so.
Well, tell me some crazy experiences or just thus far between now with this directing. Like, you can give me, like, 2 or 3 stories that stand out in your mind that have really, like, been crazy for you.
Crazy stories?
I mean, man, like that Matt Barnes game, that was pretty crazy when the dudes was ready to fight and in the crowd they ready to fight and then dude came at you foul and, just thinking overall, what's a couple of crazy things?
That's probably the most craziest story. I think, what was that, like 3 weeks ago?
That's recently.
Yeah, it was recently. So, I'm standing on court 1. It's Matt Barnes playing against, I forgot who the team was playing and it was some little kids sitting down on the bleachers, and it was a crossover team, like 11-year-olds, and they were sitting on the Matt Barnes side, and one of the parents of the Matt Barnes asked the kids to be quiet. So I don't know how she said it, if it was rude or not, though, but one of the crossover parents took it offensive. They was like, hey, don't talk to the kids like that. Yeah. Well, the lady just got in her feelings, so she's just screaming, like, loud, though. And I'm like, ma'am, could you just calm down? I'll take care of the situation. Well, F this, F that, though. And the dude, like, he's just like calm down for a second, though. Like, you talking to the kids, but my thing is, like, we're here for the kids. Like, if the kids weren't here, you wouldn't be here at all either.
Exactly.
So I'm trying to, calm the whole situation down, and this lady's just yelling, blah, blah, blah. So she's making a big scene, and then more parents from the crossover come over. So she starts yelling at them. So these ladies, they're trying to attack her now. Like, they're trying to fight her because, she's pointing her finger up in their face and all this, though. So I'm just over here trying to break people up. I'm like, this is embarrassing. You know what I mean? We're here for kids. These are grown people. I'm trying to, like, tell the, stop it with the, so... I thought it was an assistant coach at the time, but he was just a parent of of the team. So he's sitting on the bench. He comes over. It's his wife, actually. So he's trying to just calm her down, I guess, though, and all this. And he says something to the dude. Well, another dude comes by with dreads, and he's trying to fight him. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, though, like, this is just like too much, though. So I'm trying to police the whole situation. Like, I took the dude with the dreads. I'm like, hey, just walk down with me. Yeah. So I'm explaining to him, like, we're here for the kids, man. Like, we got to set an example for these kids and stuff, though, So I calm him down finally. Yeah. And finally get the situation, all calm. So the parent from Matt Barnes Elite, he takes his wife and sits her on the bench over there, because he didn't want nothing to happen, because these ladies were talking about, we're going to catch you outside, or, I don't know. It's just heated words and all this stuff. So he takes her over there. So I'm just like, okay, situation's done. Well, not knowing that she's on the phone, she calls the police.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Calls the sheriff, calls the police.
And of course, I'm worried about him even more so at this point, because I happened to tell him that the cops are coming, because I was just standing outside. I didn't even know.
So he comes and gets me.
I said, hey, man, the sheriffs are outside.
The sheriffs are here.
Because I just didn't want him to get shut down. All the county needs to hear, and let's just be real, we're in Roseville, Rockland. There's some brothers over here acting too brotherish, and well, like, oh, well, shut them down. Like, exactly. That's my fear.
So the sheriff comes in. I'm like, shit, though, this is gonna be ugly, though. Like, you know what I mean? So he's standing by the door and stuff, just watching. So I'm like, hey, what's going on? Can I help you? He's like, I'm waiting for the lady to call because he had her cell phone number, so she was coming over. So he gets her over, and I went to get her husband, so I go get him too. He's walking over with me, so I'm like just talking to him. I'm like, man, it's not cool. She calling the police and stuff, though. I had it under control. He's like, man, F this, though. My wife was about to get jumped and all this. I'm like, man, your wife wasn't about to get jumped. I had everything under control and stuff, though. Like, I know words were heated, though, but like it died down. Yeah. So he's like, F that, like all this. And I'm like, man, you don't get me shut down. Like, we're not supposed to be running like that. And I definitely don't want the sheriffs up here. Well, he's like, oh, Hardwood's closed down already. If you guys get shut down, I don't even care.
Yeah.
So I'm walking. I just stopped for a second. I just looked at him like, are you serious? Like, you're in the gym.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You didn't have to come. Like, you're in the gym, though. Like, like your son's playing. Like, you should be happy he's playing.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're still walking down to the cop and stuff, though, and he's like still saying this. I'm like, man, like, are you serious right now and stuff, though? Yeah. He's like, man, I don't care if you guys get shut down. It don't matter to me. So in my head, I'm just like livid right now. I'm like, man, I just want to punch this man in the face and stuff, though, because he's about to get my whole thing shut down and stuff, though. Yeah. So I ended up talking to the Matt Barnes Elite coach that night. He called me and apologized because he didn't know what was really going on, and I explained it to him. Yeah. I'm like, listen up. I don't mind you coming back, but that parent cannot come back in this gym. Yeah. So I haven't seen him since. And me, if you know me, I'm not even that type of person. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm easy to get along with, though. Like I said, you got to really do something to me to rub me the wrong way and stuff, though. So I'm, like I said, I'm easy to get along with and stuff. So I told him, I'm like, you guys can continue playing, but like I said, I don't want him back in here. Yeah. So he respected it, and I haven't seen that parent since. But like I said, I don't like being like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I want everyone to come to the gym, enjoy your time here, and, let's just make it about the kids. Don't make no personal issues about, what's going on and stuff like that. And that's how it was, though. So that was an issue. I went home that night, and I talked to my lady. I was like really hot. Damn. And I really don't get mad like that. Yeah. It takes a lot really to get me upset. And that day I was just upset, though, but sheriff didn't do nothing. Like, he just was there just to,
cool.
see what was going on with the incident and stuff like that. So thank God nothing happened with that there. So
that's good. I mean, funny just mentioning all that. Circling back with the teams and all that, has any teams or coaches or anything, have they ever said why they have so much dislike for YBA? Because I'm always trying to find out. I'm just curious, like, what is it because of what we do? Is it because of just they just can't figure it out?
No one's never said nothing personally to me like that.
Yeah,
and I've never even asked that question.
Right.
I always hear like, hey, YB don't like YBA. You know what I mean? Though, so I don't know what it is.
I think we're the Duke. I think we're Duke. I feel like we're the Duke of Rockland. They just like and coincidentally we're Duke colors, so they're just like, we just don't like y'all. The Thugs go to North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? You guys are Duke, so But hey, we wear it, man, because I love competition, and if teams can come at us and want to beat us, hey, I'm all for it. Shit, I don't care. Last thing I was going to ask you guys about before I go into not a good fit was media sites, because obviously more and more media sites are coming to your gym, like Simply Basketball. I've had Mark there with GGT videos, and just more and more. I think you're going to have Baller TV at your showcase and all that stuff.
Baller TV should be there this coming up weekend.
Me, I kind of feel like my 16U was playing a little to the highlight reel. They were trying to get highlights instead of playing basketball, and I think that's partly what made us play bad too, because they saw. Shout out to Terrence. He's the director of Simply. A lot of you probably guys don't even know this is, Asian dude named Terrence Chin, but you saw him in the Simply, Simply T-shirt. He started Simply, and it's all him. But see, people see that T-shirt, just like if they saw. Not Ball is Life, but there's another one. Overtime. If they saw Overtime shirt, they're like, oh my God, And do y'all think kids play different in front of those cameras? I feel like they do.
For sure.
What I mean?
For sure. For sure. Just more, if you know that Overtime or Simply or even Ball is Life is in the building, it's clout time, it's to get that clout, you know what I'm saying? Try to get on that highlight mix or whatever, which it shouldn't be like that. I feel like you should have that mindset that you want to show out and dominate all the time. But if you got to do that when, the big names come out, the social media companies come out, then that makes me kind of question you as a player. You know what I'm saying? If you got to turn on the switch on for certain moments. You got to have the switch on all the time. But it definitely, I believe it affects a lot of players when they know, oh, so-and-so going to be at the game. Oh, we got to turn up. We got to do something crazy. So that's what I think.
The young mind thing, though, too. You know what I mean? That's something that I don't know if, obviously you're probably going to, let them know about it. I hate to be there Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, Wednesday. Oh, yeah.
But, that's what I'm saying, though. Just knowing those situations, you know what I mean, though? Like playing hard from the start to the end, no matter who you're playing, And I think that's what a lot of these kids get taught because it's the social media. They want to go on social media and see themselves or, see their teammates or, all that, though. But I get that part, though.
But what I really hate, though, is you see some of the highlights that have been coming. I don't know if you have. But they're at your tournaments.
Mostly all of them are.
And most of all these highlights nowadays are at your tournaments. And there are teams that are losing. I hate highlights with losses. I don't know if that's just me, but highlights when you're losing, unless it's in the championship. I'll give the championship, some credit, but some good highlights in pool play, and you're taking 40, 50-point L's. To me, that is like the most empty highlights.
Dead highlights. You
know what I'm saying? Like, of course, because let's be real, no one's going to make a minute tape of their turnovers. Nobody's going to make, oh, look at our team, fucking bad execution. I'm going to make a highlight reel of that, a low light, right? So, when I'm seeing some of these kids get hyped up, and I'm all for that because it is encouraging and it is good to see us support each other. But I just really... And again, it's just a personal thing with me. It irks me when I see highlights of kids and teams losing. Like kids and teams losing. One of the biggest proponents I remember of seeing that last year when Mikey Williams was playing AAU for Compton Magic. My Webb's team, my little bro Webb, his team was in the Adidas Gauntlet as well. Ball is Life came out with a bunch of crazy highlights of him in the game. My Webb texted me that same day. He said, "Bro, did you see the highlights they put on a Ball is Life and all that?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" Mikey Williams? I said, "Yeah." He said, "Bro, they got blown out by 30.
Damn.
They got blown out by 30 or 40. But if you look at the highlights, it looks like
he was
Mikey
killing.
Williams just
Day one.
He was like, they just pass him the ball and he shoots whatever shot he wants." And I think this was either 8th grade or freshman year. But to me, that's what I hate. You know what I mean? I don't want you to highlight me when I'm taking L's. We look good losing. Great job.
There's a lot of coaches like that.
And I said maybe I'm alone on this one, but I'm glad y'all agree with me. I don't like highlights when it comes with losses, like you said, empty highlights. I wanted
because what are you teaching these kids?
Exactly.
I think a lot of it, just because on my side of it, because with my training stuff, I post a lot and I film everything. Is I know for the other, because of course with me it's coming as a trainer, because I post the good and the bad for my players, because I put them on the spot. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't want me to post the bad stuff, then you better start stepping up. But with the social media sites, I think they're doing it to make a name for themselves, right? They need the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in a way, it's a double-edged sword where yes, the kids are, they're knowing that, okay, I need to show out, so-and-so overtime is going to be here, but at the end of the day, overtime, ball slice, slam, they need their highlights to keep their, to keep the clout going, for all the kids to keep following and everything like that. So I feel at the end of the day, it's more of a understanding as a player, maybe as a parent, as a coach, to kind of, especially for the young kids, like, remember what you're here for. You know what I'm saying? If you do what you need to do, the highlights will automatically come. So that's what I think about how with all of that, with the social. Low key, we kind of need the social media stuff.
We do.
You know what I'm saying? Because coaches now are looking at these highlights. And now starting to offer these kids.
Absolutely.
So I think it's a good and a bad thing.
Yeah, and it's just got to find a balance. I'm gonna move on to not a good fit. I'm gonna talk about some stuff me and Elijah want to talk about earlier.
Blowing up.
I know. They looking for
championship game. Oh, it's at 7.
Okay, so let's talk about players, parents, coaching, and fighting. Okay, we can't have that kind of stuff happening. The reality is, it's not a good fit for the director. It's not a good fit for a program. It's not a good fit for your kids or parents when they're out here ready to scrap over basketball. We heard this weekend, just talking from my boy Elijah right now, you had 2 players getting into a fight. I saw myself with another one with a player about to fight a coach, and then I saw some parents ready to get into it. You got to remember, anybody who's listening, especially with what's going on right now with COVID-19, we are on a microscope. My man is on a microscope.
Literally.
Any type of fist flying, any type of reason to shut these guys down, you're spoiling it for everybody. Of course, it's heavy competition. It's a heated sport. Everybody wants to win. Things are going to happen. But please, parents, let's be the adults. Let's try to manage it, or just leave because it's not a good fit. And that's all I really got to say about that. Moving on, I want to talk about, I want to give my team shout outs, because there was a lot of good teams this weekend that I thought, need to be spoken about. First one I want to say is D1 Nevada again. Shout out to them, because
following me right now.
I know,
want me over there.
Right, of course, because again, what you do, brother, if you ever hear this, bringing your guys from Vegas, taking the underprivileged youth and trying to do some good stuff for them, taking that 12-hour drive, like, what you're doing tough. Exactly. What you're doing is a great job, man, and I want to give you a shout out to that. I know some of his guys got into it. They were
my thing with that. I was an inner city kid, and I've talked to him before about everything, and my thing I told him is, these kids look up to you. Like, there's 2 people besides the parents that kids look up to. That's a teacher and a coach. And I think more of a coach, because a coach dresses like you most of the time. Acts, kind of like you. Right. So they're going to gravitate to the coach. Right. And so I was just trying to tell him, just put a little structure in there, you know what I mean? Because you got inner city kids that don't really know nothing, probably from a single parent home. You know what I mean? So when they're with you, that's, their time that, to go play basketball and all this, and just don't have them out there just being ghetto. Right. You know what I mean? And I hate using that word like
but
that.
But it's the truth.
And just, I hate that though,
Well, because we're trying to raise good young men and women through this sport, especially black men. So,
that is true. And
we got to raise our own. We got to do what we can.
And my thing is with that, I'll take the wins and losses, just develop these kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? Though, like, that's the thing. Teach them how to be young men.
Right. Long game.
And then another one we'll give a shout out to is Chico Avengers. Fred, you guys played a good game today. It went down to the wire. Yeah, my team got the better in this day, but it's not to say clearly your team is competing with us every time we play you guys. So definitely want to give you a shout out for Chico. Peyton's Place. I've been seeing them more and more.
They've been here.
Yeah, like every
weekend.
And the coaches have been really cool with me. Really, they we've talked. They know I'm from Oakland, and I know kind of some of their players. that also brings me to my boy DeMarshe Johnson. Shout out to you.
Good kid, really good kid,
his son is Shea Johnson. Big tall kid, 6'9", number 11, goes to Salesian, probably gonna be D1. Well, not probably. He is gonna be D1 somewhere. I played with his dad at Oakland Tech when we were a nationally ranked team, and so I got a chance to see him and his mom and just talk, because we all went to high school together and stuff. And Shay, if you hear this, you did a phenomenal job, and DeMarshe Senior, your son is doing a great job, man. So just wanted to give that out there. The other one was College Prep Academy. I thought that was a really good group. That's my boy Brandon Cole, who's the 16U top team coach for West Coast Elite.
Okay.
He is the head coach of the prep school. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the head coach of the prep school in Rancho, College Prep Academy.
Gotcha.
So he brought his team there to play. They ended up losing to I think Peyton's Place Team Sphinx.
I was getting them confused with the team that played last weekend. That was Cali.
Which
Prep.
one? Well, I didn't know.
That was Team Lillard, though.
Oh, Lillard. Okay, that's Team Lillard.
They go under that same name, too, though.
Yeah, and so definitely want to give you a shout out, Brandon. Team looks good. City Hot Shots.
And my guy Christian.
Yeah.
I think I listened to the podcast last week. You were like, I can't think of that guy.
Yeah, Christian. There we go. Yes, he's a great coach. Great
he's
dude.
A really good
He's
guy,
a good dude. I really like him a lot. His City Hot Shots team beat my 16. It was crazy, and nobody expected that win. Like nobody. Like everyone's like,
this team plays hard.
They do. They play really hard, aggressive. They don't quit.
And when you look at them, you're like, man, we're about to smack.
Yeah,
this team,
and they play hard for him. So that was another guy I wanted to definitely give a shout out to.
Yeah, that was a good game actually. Though.
Yeah,
I mean, like you said, you guys didn't play up to potential,
right? But I don't take away from how they played. They made some big shots. They hit some. They beat us in overtime. I mean, it went down like that. And I got to give credit to that team, because they beat our team, my 16U team, which most people look at right now as the best team in YBA, is that 16U group. And
I really like your 15s.
Yeah, I love my 15s, man. They're the next group that I think really people are gonna. Yeah, they're the future for sure. And so,
kids together,
I'm trying, man. Believe me, I'm trying. Everybody is coming after my kids left and right.
It's gonna happen.
So but
so
no.
What do you have to do to get to that next? Do you have to just go to all these tournaments and stuff, or how does that? That's what I'm trying to figure out with this whole AAU thing, though. Like, how do you get to that next level?
The circuit?
Yeah,
basically any circuit.
I mean, because I've heard teams say that, we're on the silver gauntlet, but it's
which is nothing.
You're paying a bunch of money to, so
there's roughly three ways to get on the circuit, and I'll tell because YBA, we have a Nike contract. I think our contract year is up next year, right? We legitimately have a contract with Nike.
So is that tied to the
No, let me explain that. No. So there's two levels of Nike contract. We'll just talk about the Nike version. There's the EYBL contract, which gets you on the EYBL circuit, which means they hand you, here's $100,000, a bunch of shoes, free gear, get the top kid you can get. We really want this specific kid here because he's ESPN top 50. You have to have him on your team. If you don't, you're not getting this check. So you get that kid on your team, you get on the EYBL circuit, everybody's happy, it's fun.
It's certain kids,
college coach, it's the kid. So that's one way, right? The contract we have is right under EYBL. Nike basically, and that leads to the third way, but let me try to break it down. So what they said to us is, you are a team that consistently gets out guys to college, mainly like NAI, Division II, Division III. Those are the main guys we go to. Obviously, you get like a Kai and stuff who's a D1 point guard, but mainly, D2s, D3s, NAI is where we feed into, JC, right? They say, but you have 40-something teams. That's over 400-something kids wearing Nike. That's how they look at it. That's a win for us. That's a bunch of free advertisement. So they say, okay, we'll give you a contract. You're not EYBL, but we'll give you 70% off all Nike gear. We'll give you kickbacks. We'll cut you a small check. We'll help pay for some of your travel, like for your elite groups, because we expect your elite guys will get to college, right? But we're not going to put you on the EYBL circuit. You're not a circuit team, right? So we're that one step below. So the first way is get a kid that's top 100 ESPN kid. You get a top 100 kid, they'll put you on a circuit. I don't care if it's Adidas, Under Armour, or Nike. You're going to get on one if you have a top 100 ESPN player in your AAU club.
Gotcha.
Because those are the kids that D1s want to see.
Right.
D1s and shoe companies fund AAU straight up, the top level. The second way is you buy your way in. Like you said, you pay for it. You say, so Adidas, and if anybody hears this, I hope you really hear it, Adidas basically said, okay, we're not necessarily going to compete with Nike at the top circuit because everyone knows the EYBL is where it's at ultimately, right? They have Peach Jam, they have all this. They're like, EYBL is where it's at. They said we can't necessarily simulate that, but we can make a lot of money trying to. So this is what they said. We're going to make what's called the Adidas Silver Gauntlet. We're going to make what's called the Adidas Gold Gauntlet, and we're going to make the Adidas Elite. The Adidas Elite is all the NBA guys' teams. Team Why Not, Team Harden, Marcus Smart Elite, like the NBA guys' teams, basically, right? Or the teams that end up with a top 100 kid. Gold and silver, you pay your way in. You say, this is how it works, because they approached us with this. Adidas, I literally was on the phone with Adidas, Under Armour, and Nike at different times. They said, you pay us $25,000 and you can have your team on the gold circuit. Keep in mind, that's $25,000 a year. They're not talking about like, oh, you pay this and you're on it permanently for the next 7 years. They're talking about 25 racks a year, 10 to 25,000 a year. You can put your team on the gold gauntlet. What's going to happen is you're going to play in 5 tournaments. If you win 3 out of those 5 tournaments, you can play on the Adidas Elite Gauntlet. But this is how they catch you. At those tournaments, the Adidas Elite teams are looking at those gold teams to see the best players. And what do you think those elite teams do when they see those best players on the gold? Hey, man, why don't you come over here with my team? It's all free.
And the thing with that, though, is like, as a kid, how do you turn that down?
Exactly. They say, we're going to put you in front of Calipari, Coach K. We're going to put you in front of the top guys. Everywhere. You're going to travel for free, hotels for free. You're going to get all this free gear, and mom and dad don't have to pay a thing. They're not even going to come on the trip, so you can act a goddamn fool, right? So basically you just spoon-fed losing one of your players. That's why we say, oh hell no, because then let's say let's just say even our gold kids make it to the elite circuit. I don't have connections with those directors and guys. There's no guarantee they're going to put me in primetime slots. They might have my team playing at 8 p.m. at night on court 76. You tell me what college is fucking looking at that time. No, prime time is 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock on court 1. Court 2 is, don't you have your best games on court 2? Yes. Exactly. What do you think they do at their arenas? Right? So that's the one way, is the second way. Pay your way into the circuits, right? The third way, which is an iffy one, is having a massive program, which is kind of the niche we fall under. If your program has 20 plus teams, they'll at least give you an opportunity. They'll say to you, like what Nike did, okay, we're not going to put you EYBL, but we'll put you under our umbrella, because let's just say one of my freshmen become a top ESPN player. They're like, well, you're already in our contract. So now we'll put that team on the EYBL.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that way we can't go to Adidas. We can't go to Under Armour. Because, again, let's just say Jaden or Trevor become a top 50 player in high school year next year. He's on all these radars. All this media hype is around him. They're going to go, oh, shit, YBA is already a part of Nike. Hey, Chris, your contract's still with us, so we're going to put that team on the EYBL next year. And that's like, cool, great, but keep in mind, Adidas or Under Armour would have called me as well and been like, hey, can we get this kid on the Rise circuit? Can we get this kid on the Under Armour circuit? I'd be like, hell no, I'm signed with Nike. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the 3 ways you can evolve into a circuit program. Obviously, the easiest way is paying for it, but there's no way in hell I'm asking a bunch of working class parents, hey, everybody put in $20,000 so we can make it. You know what I'm saying? So with everything we talked about, that brings our show to a close. I wanted to definitely thank you again, Olajawan, for being on the show.
Appreciate you guys for having me on here.
No problem. I'm glad to get your voice out there. I think what you're doing is amazing work.
Appreciate that.
But, and keep it up,
grinding.
Man. Yeah, keep grinding.
Try too big. The haters is out to get me right now. So.
Of course.
That means you're doing something.
Yeah, it is, though. You know, I mean, this man right here, I feel like is target on his back.
Yeah,
So.
you want that target.
Yeah,
you're right.
No, but the target's on his back, but he reacts. He's still winning though. So
hey,
I throw everything at him. Like I literally try to throw everything at this man. So
I try to be about that life, right?
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Mark, you got anything to add?
No, I just want to say thank you for being on the show.
Appreciate that, man.
Definitely motivated me 70 hours a week. Man, you're killing me. So that means I got to work harder.
Yeah, it's a grind.
No, man. I definitely, again, just wanted to remind people, Courtside will have their showcase this weekend. And even if your team's not playing, I suggest you come spectate it because some of these games have really been some great basketball. There'll obviously be media sites there, so shout out to Simply, Baller TV. I think you might have out there, and hey, maybe Baller's Life might be out there. Who knows, man? Just keep it pushing. Please follow us on social media as well. You have Mark with GGT. You have myself, Hoopstar I Am, also YBA and Phoenix Fitness. Olajawan, Courtside Basketball has their own Instagram as well too. So I suggest reach out to them for teams out there that are looking for tournaments, looking for play. Shout out to Ty behind the camera, working hard as always. If you need any video work, please feel free to reach out to him. I don't think there's anything else I need to add. I just say, hey, keep listening. Hopefully you keep giving us feedback because we're trying to give you great content. And we're going to keep talking to AAU, keep talking about basketball at the grassroots level. I'm very impressed with Elijah's son staying asleep pretty much the whole time.
Literally,
so, he let this man get back to work. But I think this was a great interview. Glad to have you here,
Man, appreciate you guys, man, a lot.
No problem, man.
Give me this platform, so.
All right, then we out.